All right, away we go.
And this is episode 14, part 3, and we are, ice. It's chilly this summer. It's over 100 degrees, but it's chilly. It's still chilly. On a semi-positive note, I have seen certain things that I thought were affected by ice, and maybe they were, maybe they weren't. I'm not saying for sure, but if nothing else, they decided, hey, we need to reopen because we just can't afford to not make money, and so they're risking dealing with ice, and some of them are open again. So that's a good thing.
Who? What?
Like the restaurant that I thought I'd closed because of ice.
Oh, okay. So so you're saying that there's certain companies that
I thought had been affected by ice. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but now I'm seeing them pop back up.
Right. Okay. So what I think the focus is on is the ICE hiring practices.
Right. So on the high level, of course, the big nasty bill just passed to the tune of over $100 billion for ICE alone.
150, I think.
Yeah, sometimes between 150 to 170, but
yeah.
For ICE, not for law enforcement per se, but for that nasty. They get to wear masks on their face and not identify themselves in that group.
To put it in perspective, that'd be like, from what I understand, like the 12th largest army in the world.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And then on top of that, apparently they've removed a bunch of the qualifications for getting into the program. So you don't have to necessarily be a certain age or have any education or any of the stuff that in theory you should have to have if you're any part of the government at all, any part. I don't care if you're a dog catcher. You should have to be able to pass certain things, and they're basically saying, no, we'll give you your $50,000 signing bonus and this, that, and the other thing, and we just need warm bodies, which is partly happening not because they want people so badly, but because people more and more are saying, I actually do have a soul. I actually do have a code of ethics, and fuck this shit. The money's not worth it. No.
Right. So you kind of mentioned a couple things that I was thinking about. One of them is like the signing bonuses that they're handing out. Secondly, I heard that they're for people, and I'm not sure how many would actually have a college degree, but look at some of these people going to college at Texas A&M and shit. Yeah. So there might be some of these college graduates who are like, oh yeah, get me some. And so they're going to forgive student loans, right? For these fucking assholes to come and terrorize the communities, but not for school teachers, not for people who work in the healthcare industry, not for your nurse or your dentist or your school teacher, your second grade teacher. No, they got to pay their shit back. But this guy who comes in a mask face and abducts people off the street at their fucking job or at a daycare center or at a hearing at a court and trap them and get them in there when they're trying to go through the process. That guy gets his student loan, and you're okay with that. You're okay with that, you fucking assholes. Go fuck yourself. I'm so sick of these
There
people.
was at least one survey that said that, and I think the number is probably much higher, but at least 70% of the people that they're picking up don't even have a traffic ticket. I mean, they have no criminal record, and I'm not saying whether or not they're documented, but apart from that question, they have no criminal record. Period.
Look here. Being here illegally is like the same as like having a speeding ticket. This is not like a felony charge. This isn't a criminal charge in that regard.
But
would you be okay? Would you be okay if somebody came to your house and rounded you up for a speeding ticket and took you to fucking Auschwitz, Alcatraz Auschwitz, or Alligator Auschwitz, or whatever?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't.
But hypothetically, even if it were, it's not. But if it were, there's no due process, so you don't know whether they actually are or not. They're actually getting more and more people who are 100% U.S. citizens, not green card, not anything in between. They're right. more and more. You're brown, throw them in the car.
Right.
Period.
And even if they are illegal, put them to the process.
Yeah. It's not that difficult.
Like I said, this is the same offense as a speeding. What crime have they committed that's so goddamn bad that you need to do this to people? Because they're here illegally? Because you think they took your fucking job? Shut the fuck up. You think that they're not contributing to society in some way when they're doing all the jobs you fuckers won't do? And they're contributing through all the things that they purchase, is that tax dollars that goes? Some of these people have to pay taxes in other ways. You know, you say that, well, they're getting these healthcare benefits. They can't go to go see a doctor. Certainly some of them might show up in hospitals because they have to, it's the only course of action that they have. But they're not they're not a drain on the system. They're contributing by the system by every economic measure that people have that are legitimate. You're making shit up. They're making shit up. These people have done nothing but contribute and come here to try to earn a living and make it in society. And they do a better job than most fucking Americans. Come from nothing and then try to make something of themselves. Most people born here that are born into nothing, want to nothing. You know, and I'm not saying that that's their fault, but, you know, because it's systemic and poverty as well, no matter what color you are. But give me a fucking break. Anybody who usually traverses X number of miles to come here is probably the type of person who fucking works and wants to do something. It's not these criminals that these fucking assholes try to make them out to be, but it's all a ruse. Like I said, these criminal con men have convinced you that that's your fucking enemy and not them. And these people have done nothing. But you're okay with fucking rounding these people up, putting them in goddamn concentration camps in the middle of goddamn fucking Everglades, and be gleeful about it because you get to hurt somebody. Hurt somebody because you hurt. Because these assholes hurt you up there, so you're going to hurt that guy down there? You fucking idiot. Who should the fucking pitchforks be coming after? You know, you guys are morons. Like, I hope somebody fucking sees this and tries to get me. You go fuck yourself, man. I'm so sick of these people. I've really had enough. Like, I can't take it. Like, whenever I see these people now, I just get a fucking sick feeling in my stomach. Like, you guys are just assholes. I got nothing to say to you, man. And it's going to get that way, too, across the board in this country, where people are just going to be going at each other for good reason. Because when I see these videos of these people and these these children crying and the mother screaming and the wife is screaming and these cops are just they're beating people up in the streets, knocking people over who are just trying to film, beating on people for no reason, old ladies, you know, bystanders, anybody who's filming them. What sort of human being does that? For $50,000 fucking sign-on bonus? You're going to do that? Some of these people, too, are minorities. There's Hispanic guys out there doing this shit. You know what? Eat a dick, you fucking asshole. You know, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? These people are sickos. They would literally sell their soul for a fucking dollar bill because they've been sold a bag of fucking goods that somehow money's going to make you happy. Like,
well, the money's not going to. It's going to be like the 1930s, where money doesn't matter if there's nothing to buy or the prices are so jacked up that nobody can buy anything.
No, that was the 20s. But
well,
anyway,
you get my point.
In Germany, but
right.
Yeah, and that was because the businessman did that on purpose and put in their puppet Hitler, and they fucking worked that shit through, just like they did fucking Trump. He's a stooge for these fucking corporate assholes. So, here we go again. This is the same shit over and over and over again throughout history, but you can't convince these people of shit that their brain won't fucking accept.
Actually, can I interject something here?
Sure.
There's a controversy about the 2024 election, and I'm not going to really get into that because I'm just not going to really get into that. However, the maggots keep wanting to say that they had a what's the term for it? When there's an overwhelming support for somebody, they had you know.
I think I know.
Yeah. Anyways, everybody voted this way. They have overwhelming support. Whatever. No, the reality is that approximately 2/3 of the voting public did not vote for Trump, and of those who voted, only about 1% more voted for Trump than voted for Harris. That's how close things were, even acknowledging all the rest of this stuff. And that's assuming the best case in his favor based on the numbers that we've been presented. So it is not this whole, he's got this whole support. No, those are the best case numbers that he could possibly have. And it's a 1% difference against those who voted directly against him.
Right. And when we say directly against it, I mean, most of the people that are against Trump are at this point getting to the point of violently opposed to Trump.
Yeah.
Like, not just, no, they're like, I want to smash this guy's face against him. That's most of the people who voted against him, you know. And now, what are the MAGAs? What are they against? Freedom and equality. They're against diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what they're against. They already said it. They said they're against it. They don't want it. They don't want it in their books. They don't want it in the fucking schools. They don't want it in the workplace. They just stripped all the language. They don't want diversity, equity, and inclusion. They don't want women to vote. They don't want minorities to vote. They don't want you to vote. If you're poor,
and more, they're actually saying that they're not beating around the bush. They're not,
and everything they're doing is proving it.
Yeah,
and literally, it's calling DEI affirmative action, which it's not, and affirmative action is necessary because of shit they do when they put in fucking people because they are the problem they say they're solving, which is incompetent fucking asshole idiots running shit, and they've been doing it for fucking forever, and they are the fucking problem. So they don't want diversity, they don't want equity, they don't want inclusion. You know, that's what they stand for. They stand for nothing else. Everything that they talk about. Where's their healthcare plan? Where's their plan to raise to help the economy? Where's their plan? Tariffs? Where's their plan to raise the minimum wage? Where's their plan for the working class?
Oh, sorry, I just thought of something.
They have none. Yeah. They have none.
You know how you had the COVID example of, oh well, if we don't test for COVID, then the numbers will go down.
Yeah,
that's basically the way he looks at the tariffs. Oh, if the money that we got from the tariffs is X, then that's a positive. No, you have to counterbalance that against the negative economic effect of, well, first and foremost, if that's how much they brought in, then effectively that's how much we paid in a tariff tax.
Exactly. That's how much Americans paid. That's how much less Americans had to spend.
Right.
Which is going to tank the economy. Now, we didn't talk about it that jobs bill, segment, and I kind of brought that up in between these two. That jobs bill is the worst it's been, or not jobs bill, but the jobs report is the worst it's been since like 2008. So what happened after that? You know, that's what we're in for, folks. There's going to be a recession. It's going to be hard hit too, because it's not only going to be lack of jobs, it's going to be the price of everything going up at least a minimum of 20 to 30% on almost everything you purchase, including cars and everything. So as these prices go up, jobs diminish, people stop buying things, stop hiring, the economy tanks, then we'll see where Trump goes from there. Because he's just going to up the antes and ratchet up the violence. Because now they got all this money and these people they're hiring, and we'll see what happens from there. It's going to be interesting, but it's going to get violent, and it's going to be like the 60s. There's going to be people are going to get assassinated. They already have. We talked about
in fact,
how many Democrats?
There were the Democrats, but then there have now been 2 or 3 business leaders.
Right.
Which is
they're not mentioning a lot of that either.
No, they're deliberately. In fact, they said almost nothing compared to what they said with the Luigi thing.
Yeah. So you're not hearing about that. There was the 2 Democrat lawmakers up in Minnesota who got killed. And if you go back before the election, Nancy Pelosi's husband got attacked. So this is just going to go up and up and up. And, and we'll see the retaliation that comes from the left, from the progressives.
Because it's going to start eventually.
Right. Because like I said, you keep on beating on people and there's going to be retaliation. And we'll see how ugly it actually gets before it gets better. But, in most cases, totalitarian states don't fall without some kind of resistance. And there's all kinds of ways that you can resist, You can stop buying things. You can do this, that, and that, and the other. And sometimes some people, violence is what they do, So I'm not condoning it, but that's effective.
It's more prediction, not condoning, not recommending, suggesting anything like that.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
And in some cases, it is effective. The danger is that if you go too far, you end up becoming what you hated. And then you just end up like with what happened in Russia or, in China and things like that, where you just got a totalitarianism state instead of what you were hoping for. So that's the dangers of going that route, That's the pitfall. It even happened in France in the first one, the revolutions there. Robespierre got his head cut off,
Well, or I know this is drifting, but, we often joke that, hey, if things get bad enough, we'll just move up to Canada. But I was on several different discussions last week. And it basically came out that Alberta is not terribly different from the MAGA wing of the United States, and so you got to
stay away from there.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with this idea that, oh, well, it's so bad here, it must be better somewhere else. Well, not necessarily.
Hey, man, Europe's having their problem with fascists coming up too. You know, Germany and Northern Europe, there's a lot of these fucking white supremacists there too, man. So they're everywhere. They're everywhere, folks. They didn't just disappear after World War II. They've been around for a long time. So, and they're not going away anytime soon. And unless you fight back. And that's all you can do. And, you know, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I think we'll wrap up this segment, and we'll be back in 2 minutes once we figure out what we're going to say next.
Yeah, so basically, you want to summarize?
Again, it might be over 100 degrees, but it's chilly here.
So basically, ICE agents they're upping, they're giving more incentives to hire. They have a buttload of cash, and they're trying to get more of these assholes to come around and terrorize your fucking community and kidnap you and take away anybody they don't like and put you in a concentration camp.